This is the Rebel podcast with Ruairi, Carson.
"10 years before I saw the light of morning, Carmen Chimapee roads were lit. From every corner of the world came sailing the international brigade. They came to stand beside the Spanish people, try and stem the rising fascist tide. Franco's allies were the powerful and the wealthy, like railsmen came from the other side. And even the others were bleeding as the battle for Madrid had thundered on. Truth and love against the force of evil, a brotherhood against the fascist power. Viva la Quinta Brigada, no pastor on the pledge of their fight. All I need is a cry on the hillside, let us all remember them tonight. Up the yard was a Church of Ireland pastor, from Killarney across the Pyrenees again. From Derry came the brave young Christian brothers, oh, side by side they fought and died in Spain. Tommy Boots at 17 died in Gabora, with a Vienna he learned to hold his gun. From Dublin to the Via del Rio, Tommy fought and died beneath the blazing sun. No posture on the pledge of a damn fight. All I need is a cry on the hillside, let us all remember them tonight. Many Irishmen, they heard the call of Franco, tried Hitler on Mussolini too. Propaganda from the pulpit and newspapers up to the future list of crew. And the word came from the dudes supporting the Nazis. Yes, the men of the love they felt and shoot again, with the biggest plus the blue shirts in Dunleary, they sail beneath the swastika of despair. Viva la Quinta Brigada, no puncher on the pledge of the fight. All I need is a cry on the hillside, let us all remember them today. And the song, it is a tribute to Frank Ryan. Did call, man, did he call you too? Peter Neely, Charlie Reagan, and you, Bonner, oh, but many died, but can never few. Donny Doyle and Blazer Brown and Charlie Donnelly, Tim Thompson and James Straney from Short Strand, Jack Nulty, Tommy Patton and Frank Conroy, Dick Foley, Tony Fox and Jim Oldham. Viva la Quinta Brigada, no pastor on the pledge of their damn faith. All I need is a cry on the hillside, let us all remember them today. Viva la Quinta Brigada, Viva la Quinta Brigada, Viva la Quinta Brigada.
So folks, hello and welcome to episode 20 of the Rebel podcast. As usual, myself, Ruairi, Carson. This will be the very first episode of 2020, and what a way to kick off the new year, folks. So once again, we're recording tonight in our unofficial home here at the Raleigh McCorley Club in West Belfast. So right now we're in the volunteer Tom Williams function room. So just after the show intro there, you heard Christy Moore's Viva la Quinta Brigada, sang by tonight's special guest, Terry Cruncher O'Neill. You may ask why that song at the start and why we're recording here in this very room on this very stage. So, well, the very first play that my dad Kevin brought to this club and to this stage all those years ago was Brian Moore's play Paddy on the Road. And the star of that play, of course, was no other than Terry Cruncher O'Neill. So we'll talk a bit about Paddy on the Road later on during the course of the interview. So Cruncher is a famous rebel and ballad singer. He's also a very talented actor and has starred in various double joint stage shows over the years. And has also had some TV acting roles. So Cruncher, thank you very much. You're very, very welcome to the Rebel podcast. Thank you very much for coming along.
Good to be here.
So the last 2 years I've had some legendary Irish rebel singers on the show, including Alan Quinn, Gary Ogue, and a personal favourite for me last year, Jerry Glacken. So now yourself, Cruncher, so you join the mighty team of all those legends coming on for me. So I'm very humbled, thank you.
I'm surrounded by giants.
Giants, indeed. Right, so we're going to start off right from the very beginning. Right, so I was supplied a bit of information, so hopefully this is true, right? So I've done some digging and I'm told that so the O'Neill family originally came from the Lower Falls, but then moved to the New Lodge in 69-70.
Yeah.
So can we actually claim you as a Westie then?
Well, to this day, I mean, I'm still living in the New Lodge Road, and to this day, if they're having an argument about the area, I will bring something up and they'll go, "What would you know? You're a Westie."
You're a Westie.
I was what, 5 when I moved to New Lodge.
Yeah, when you moved.
According to New Lodge, once I'm still a Westie, like simple as that.
Once a Westie, always a Westie. Yeah. So, what would you say is your very earliest childhood memory as you came from like a big family? Like,
There was always instruments around the house. My father had learned to play the guitar when he was 30 odds, but it was accordions and banjos and honestly,
every instrument
you name an instrument, it was in the house. You know what I mean? So I remember lifting the guitar and he looked at me. He says, "You're too young yet," and I remembered, "You're too young yet." I was probably about 5 or 6.
Serious, right? Even then you want to learn then?
Yeah, and I didn't start learning the guitar until I was about 10 or 11, and I can't remember too much about learning because I was that young. You know what I mean?
So did you learn yourself then? I mean, or was it somebody in your family, your dad, whoever it was?
My father taught me what he knew, which was not a lot. He was
basics kind of thing. Yeah.
But and then went to school and I had a great old teacher in school called Brian Connors, who taught in Barnagia, and I learned a lot. I learned a lot from him. I just proceeded on and tortured anybody who played the guitar. Just tortured them.
As you do.
To show me something that I didn't know.
So you were so you come from a sort of, from what I'm told, a very staunch Republican family. Both of your brothers are ex-POWs.
Yeah.
I'm also told that your father, Terry Senior, was in the McGurk's bar when the Loyalists bombed it. Was he?
No, he was on his way to it.
Oh, right. That's what that came across. So obviously he wasn't caught up in it.
No,
Then,
he
so wasn't, right?
No.
So were you sort of brought up as a Republican from an early age then, were you?
Well, my first images, I lived in the high-rise flats in the New Lodge,
Right.
and my first images of trouble was seeing people who worked along with my daddy in the docks,
Yeah.
starting doing vigilante,
Right.
in case the lawyers attacked the area, and which progressed into riots, petrol bombing. Then the next thing, the people who worked with my daddy were on with big rifles. It was like something out of a movie.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Right.
And they were firing at the British Army.
I'm sure that wouldn't dealt down well in the docks.
But well, these were ordinary guys.
Yeah.
Just ordinary,
Just defend their community, and like.
and were left with no option but to do what they were doing.
Right. The most common question people have asked me, like, I put it out on Twitter and Facebook. I was getting you on, and there was a few questions coming through. But the most one people had asked was, so where does the nickname Cruncher come from? So I'm sort of told that you and your dad, yourself, and your 2 brothers were all called Cruncher. Are you?
My dad didn't get Cruncher, but people called him it. He didn't like it, you know.
Right, okay.
And all the brothers, yeah.
So where does it come from then? What nickname?
I have absolutely no idea, and that's the truth. The oldest brother who got it, who doesn't like to be called it at all now,
right.
Paul would not tolerate being called Cruncher at all. But it's a family heirloom. I have no idea. So among the O'Neills, we like to make stories up and say that it's because we're tough and no nonsense, absolutely nothing.
Well, I was told that it was because your dad, obviously being a doctor, and he was a bit of a hard man. So he was. And that's where he's got the name from?
No,
Cruncher? Definitely
no.
not?
My father was
Oh.
a gentle, quiet man. He was not. He was not
Okay.
like that. No, I honestly, if I had an answer that I would give you it,
Right, okay. So it's just stuck then? And you just,
it's there, and it's simple as that. That's where
it just clung on to you?
it haunts me.
It haunts you? Well. So we're now going to play the first piece of music, folks. So as you know, during these sit-down interviews, we always get the guest to do sort of like 4 songs. So we're going to get Cruncher to, well, ask him to pick 2 songs, and then he's going to do one for us live as well at the end of the show. So, Cruncher, what's the first song you've picked, and what's the story behind it?
One of the greatest influences in my life was a man who died very young. It was a man called Luke Kelly.
Right.
He was the lead singer with the Dubliners.
What actually was Luke Kelly when he died?
About 30,
Serious?
32, 33 or something. Yeah, very, very young. And I remember the hairs in the back of my neck standing, listening to
You hear
him,
him?
listening to him singing this song.
Singing voice, like, just it's very unique, it was like.
And he sang a song called On Raglan Road.
Right. That's the first tune you want to go for, then? Luke Kelly. Any particular version, live version, or just Luke Kelly, Raglan Road? Then?
Just Luke Kelly, Raglan Road.
Okay, no problem. So this is Cruncher's first tune, and it's Luke Kelly on Raglan Road.
On Raglan Road of an autumn day, I saw her first and knew that her dark hair would weave a snare that I might one day rue. I saw the danger and I passed along the enchanted way, and I said, let grief be a fallen leaf at the dawning of the day. On Grafton Street in November, we tripped lightly along the ledge of a deep ravine where can be seen the worth of passion's pledge. The Queen of Hearts still making tarts, and I not making hay. Oh, I loved too much, and by such is happiness thrown away. I gave her gifts of the mind, I gave her the secret sign that's known to the artists who have known the true gods of sound and the stone, and word and tint without stint. I gave her poems to say, with her own name there, and her own dark hair, like clouds over fields of May. On a quiet street where old ghosts meet, I see her walking now, away from me so hurriedly. My reason must allow that I had loved not as I should. A creature made of clay. When the angel woos, the clay he'd lose his wings at the dawn of day.
So obviously we sort of touched on it earlier on, but so when did you sort of first pick up a guitar? You reckon it was we were 5 then? And like, I mean, when did you really get serious into wanting to play it? Like,
I think it was about 10 or 11 by the time I really wanted to learn everything you could about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
and was it all sort of folk and stuff you wanted to play? Is that what you're sort of?
well, I had big influences from my father. He was in the Dylan and stuff like that, and you know, and so them influences are still there, in fact. You know what I mean?
Well, that was like the next question. So I'll ask you, so what artists back in that era would have influenced you then? Like,
Yeah, it would have been people like Dylan, Fairport Convention, and that type of stuff.
Right,
You know what I mean,
okay.
there was always music playing in the house, always. So
yeah,
that all locked in and stayed there.
on the record player, like would have been like on the vinyls.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that's what you had was basically rollers in our house and Rod Stewart. So it was like, thankfully, my ma cannot stand Rod Stewart anymore, so not listening. Like,
Now can I?
for various reasons. Right, so you've went on to have a very successful singing career. Country, you released a CD of 18 well-known Irish ballads and rebel songs. What's a whole different selection of very sort of crowd pleasers and stuff. So I've listened to their album many times. I can't go over the amount of varied instruments that are involved in it. So if you have acoustic guitar, bass guitar, piano, whistle, flute, boron, and say ukulele and pipes as well,
Yeah.
and they're on it. Loads of different sounds. So obviously you didn't play all those instruments yourself. So I mean, how did you sort of come about picking all those songs on that? And is there any sort of well-known people was involved in the recording of the album?
Well,
Other sort of musicians?
I'd done albums, but I don't remember doing an album for the 75th anniversary of the Easter Rising.
Is that the one that was recorded in Dublin?
Yeah, and it was called,
Danny T told us about that story that they're recording it there. Yeah.
and it was called "Too Fierce to Speak."
Right, okay.
And I'd young William McFarland, who unfortunately is no longer with us, a great musician, a great individual. John McSherry, who's a very famous Elaine Piper.
Right.
Manuel Keenan, and myself, and we brought we brought a traffic warden who was a great accordion player in Dublin.
A traffic warden?
A traffic warden.
Accordion player? Okay.
He played on it. No, I've always been very much influenced. It wasn't rebel music, full stop. I mean, the Dubliners, yes, of course, were doing the rebel stuff, but I had great love and affinity with Irish traditional music.
So trad and sort of decision stuff? Kind of
Big
thing?
time,
Yeah,
big
right.
time. And as most of the people who I was talking about earlier on there had them influences, the Dubliners had that. And that stuck with me, the Irish traditional stuff stuck with me, and still does this very day. I love Irish traditional music, I love everything about it. It's just that the lyrics were saying things that meant something to me, and I could relate to very easily.
Right. So on that album, the one I'm talking about, I'll say that probably the favourite song of mine on it is Down by the Glenside, Both Fenian Men, sort of a song I've heard you sing live many times.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the way you sing it, it's very haunting. And it sounds like you have like several Benedictine monks coming in the chorus on that song, on that album, like with the way when they're coming in with the Both Fenian Men.
Yeah.
So obviously this is your sort of go-to song. When someone asks you to go up for a song, whatever, if you're out, whatever. Or so what's sort of so special about that song that you like personally?
The historical content of it,
Right, about what the song means, yeah.
it's brilliant.
It's actually been featured on the podcast but 4 times, so it has other
Right.
people have picked it to have like your version that you play.
The great man called Sean McCann, Mardoin, done the harmonies in that there.
Right, okay.
that song, it's hard even to put words to what it just paints pictures in my head
when you're singing. So
when
you
I'm
get
singing it.
just emotions in, like when you're
Yeah.
yeah.
And a powerful piece of work. I get very emotional even when I'm singing it. You know what I mean?
Surely.
I get very emotional even talking about it. It says what needs to be said. You know what I mean? So, yeah, what a great piece of work.
So up to now, then, what would you say has been the highlight of your musical career? Do you think personally?
I haven't reached that yet.
You haven't reached it.
No.
You've still the get there then.
Yep. But I've had great experiences. Music's been extremely good to me.
Yep.
And the people in music and around it have became my friends, my comrades, my advisors.
Yeah.
So music. I owe music everything. It owes me nothing.
Well, fair enough. So we're now going to move on a bit briefly to your acting career.
Right.
So, and I'll focus on the double joint productions. Obviously, that's why we're on the stage this evening. And obviously, whenever you've done Paddy on the Road, as you said earlier on, it was a wee small fold-up stage. It wasn't this big stage.
Not a big stage.
We'll have here now, because the room here has changed many times, so it has, over the years. So my dad, Kevin, sort of kindly dug out his box of drama memorabilia.
Yep.
And flew me down the other night, a load of posters and flyers and stuff. I actually forgot they left them the night, but I had this taped up last night. So we're going to talk a bit about three plays: Paddy on the Road, The Ballad of Malty Mulligan, and Black Taxis.
Right.
So all three were written by Brian Moore and directed by the late Pam Brighton on behalf of Double Joint Productions, and they were all three of them were sellout shows in this club. So first up, Paddy on the Road. The play is about the life and songs of the legendary Christy Moore. So the poster for the play features a picture of UHC, the Prosperous House, recreating the famous scene of Christy Moore's Prosperous album cover. There's also actually a picture that Danny D sent me of yourself and Tony Carlisle and Danny and all the rest of us busy just
holding instruments.
holding instruments, but as he says, that didn't make it onto the poster. So how did you first become involved in that play, and sort of who first approached you to play the part of Christy Moore?
There was a women's drama group from the Ballymurphy area. I think it was Just Us.
Right, okay.
They called them. And in conjunction with Double Joint, they'd done a joint venture, and they were doing a play about the Troubles, but specifically around Ballymurphy.
Right, okay.
And telling their stories as they seen it throughout the years of conflict. And I was doing community work or something. I don't know what I was doing. I was doing youth work. I can't even remember what I was doing. And I got this phone call. Could you come up they were rehearsing up in Conway Mill at the time. And so I had to go over my suit.
Your suit, right, okay.
Because I was out at meetings all day.
Right.
And I met this woman who I was very honoured and so pleased that I did meet. This woman called Pam Brighton.
So that was actually one of the questions I was going to sort of say as we went on. I mean, what did you sort of make of Pam? Because everybody that talked to you has their own stories about her and their own sort of the way that she got on with Emmons and kind of thing like.
I seen her as an eccentric English woman.
Yeah.
Seriously, very stupidly, that's the way I seen her.
That's that in so many words. Tony Devlin said something sort of similar, like, same thing, like, yeah.
But she says, I heard you sing. I heard the girls would tell me that you sing. I said, sing in bands and stuff like that there. And so she asked me to sing a song. And Ben Lids, sorry.
Yes, that's when Sue Ramsey and all, wasn't it? Or yes, Ben Lids, yeah.
That was so I sung a couple of songs that interlinked scenes.
Right, okay.
It was to give them time to move, is what it was about, like, you know what I mean? So I sung a couple of songs, and Pam just says, right, I don't care what you're doing, you'll be doing this. So they had already run it. I was in the first season of it.
So who was doing it originally? In? Was it?
There was nobody. There was nobody singing in it at all originally.
Was this Binlage you're talking about?
Yeah.
First, okay, right,
Yeah.
right.
And so, theatre. I'd never done theatre. I'd done a lot of acting, but I didn't. I'd never
Proper
done any acting.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And so and as from a child, I'm brilliant at telling lies and making stories up. You know what I mean? So it became very natural.
Second nature.
Yeah, it became very
Second
natural
nature.
for me to do it.
Right.
So, theatre, I totally fell in love with it. And we went over there, then we brought Binlids to New York,
Right.
off Broadway, as they
Seriously?
call it.
That went okay,
Oh,
right.
yeah. Oh, there was about 40, 45 of us, that's counting crew and actors and,
Jesus. Big show out there.
and young people, and yeah.
Yeah.
And that was me hooked with the theatre, like, totally
Right.
hooked.
So did Paddy on the Road happen after that then? Was this their sort of
Oh yeah,
next production then?
Oh
was it?
yeah, no,
Way on down the line?
It was way on down the line.
Right.
You know what I mean? We were at a meeting with Double Joint, and Pam says, "Has anybody any ideas of something that we, because you're a theatre company, you're always existing. You're
Yeah.
not. You know what I mean, it sounds like a big high life. Oh, you're not a theatre company, and you're struggling all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, and if you haven't got props, you're making them out of rubbish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I can't remember exactly who it was who came up with the idea. It says, what about doing a music play? But not a musical, just a play about somebody who, in Conleth, whose unfortunately his name I can't remember in a minute, was the lighting designer for Double Joint. He says, Christy Moore, do a thing on Christy Moore. And so I sort of discussed, we'd look at that, but we're also looking at Luke Kelly
Right, okay.
doing that type of thing. But later on that evening, I went to Madden's Bar, as I did in them days. I'd like to eat up.
Yeah, now
So I
again.
did. And lo and behold, there's Mr. Brian Moore sitting having
Right.
a pint of stout at the table. Come here, Brian, very man. I says, I've an idea here. I mean, I don't want you to say no until I finish what the idea is. He says, yeah, go ahead. I says, we're talking about doing a play on the life and times of Christy Moore. I went, right. What do you want me to do? I said, I want you to write it.
Okay.
He went, Brian, with an easy going man that he was, went, well, no to do. Give me a few days to run around my head and let me, and let's say no, and let's say yes, let me see. And he came back, and by God, he came back with a masterpiece,
Right,
piece of art.
seriously?
What a great play. Oh, yeah.
Right. So I actually didn't. I think I was in America actually when this was on here. So it was that was touring. I mean, so was it a lot of sort of talking and singing, or I mean, what was involved in it?
Well, it's the way that Brian wrote it. I mean, you could write 50 plays about Christy Moore. I mean, from his antics with the booze.
Yeah.
You could write, but Brian was writing them from a perspective of a Belfast audience and what Christy Moore meant to us. I remember the first time I seen Christy Moore was in O'Connell Street. We were at a Smart Cheese Block demonstration.
Right.
And the brother above me was on the blanket. Our Jim was on the blanket, as was a load of my friends and neighbours, all young men and women living in horrific
Conditions like.
circumstances and conditions. And Christy Moore got up and sung a song called 90 Miles to Dublin Town. Wow. And I remember running over to the stage because he says there's some singles here for sale, and all the money goes to the H Block Committee. And over and bought the single and played it for hours and hours and hours until I learned it. So because I was singing in local clubs and bars at the time, so that was it was top of the list. 90 Miles to Dublin Town, and
So do you know, did Christy Moore himself see the play at any stage, do you know?
Christy had to come up and
Give it as a go-ahead first, did he?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, right.
Oh, and we to be honest with you, I think they went ahead and done it, but we wanted his.
So did you suppose his management, just him was it, and he's just.
I can't remember. Somebody who knew somebody who knew a number from.
Yeah, right.
and Christy came up, looked at it. Right. Yeah, it's not the story I would tell. He says, but I know where you're coming from.
So he didn't want any changes or anything made there or anything?
No.
Okay.
He says, nah, that's not the way I would tell the story, but I know where you're coming. I know what you.
It's towards this audience. That's what it's geared at. Yeah,
that perspective.
Right.
And we ended up touring England.
Well, that's actually the sort of next part of obviously the play was a massive success and toured far and wide. So now your stage manager for Paddy on the Road is a good friend of ours, a family friend, Tony Carlisle. So I was speaking to him last week, and he had sort of said that the longer the play went on, the more of a diva you became. Like. He says you started getting all these demands. He says that he thought you were taking the piss at the start. He said, but then you were being serious. Like you wanted 2 power codals before you went on, fizzy water in a bottle, hot towels and all that. And he's like, what concert are you fucking sure? Like, oh no, I'm a big star now. No, he said he didn't know if you were taking the piss out of him or not, but maybe it went to your head, and you sort of, I thought, I'm this big sort of flashy actor now. I want all these demands before going on stage. Like,
well, if anybody out there knows Tony, you'll know that he's a figment of his own imagination. You know what I mean? It's very difficult to know when Tony's telling lies.
Right. Okay.
But if you want to learn how to know when Tony's telling lies, there's a trick.
Right. He's not talking.
His lips move. That's when he's telling lies.
Well, he was laughing quite a lot when he was telling me this here the other night. So he was sort of a bit far off the truth, maybe.
Oh yeah, I mean, but to be honest, I mean, anybody that has worked in theatre, when there's one person on that stage, has nobody to rely on but himself or herself. It's a difficult task.
Sure.
So a wee bit of moaning sort of helps you along your road. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we're now going to talk about the next play, which was the Ballad of Malky Mulligan, which was another double joint play. Obviously, I never knew about this one until my dad dropped me down these flyers and stuff, so it was in here as well. So who was Malky Mulligan, and what was the story behind this play?
Malky Mulligan was a figment of Brian Moore's imagination.
Right, okay. So he doesn't exist then, is he?
No, he didn't exist. But he was used as a platform to tell a story.
Right, okay.
That play. See, doing Christy Moore was easy for me because it's a performing.
Yes.
And it's about playing different characters.
Yeah.
I mean, there was something, Christy Moore thing, there was about 14 different people I played in it.
Okay.
That did not individual, but characters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, Malky Mulligan was a completely different
fish, as they say. So it was a lot more rehearsing and sort of learning lines and stuff, this one, was there?
And so Brian wrote the characters. He had women. I was playing a woman minute, and playing a man the next minute, and playing a teenager the next minute, and playing an old fella the next minute. Or he was a German old fella, or he was, you know what I mean? So it was, it was
So is this another just one-man show it was then, was it? Yeah, right, okay. Right.
It was a hard piece of work. People say that you should always do a one-man show. Everybody should do a one-man show. But anybody that does 2 one-man shows, something wrong with their head. I mean, so, and I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Because I was mentally and physically exhausted with that. Mentally and physically exhausted.
Surely.
It was terrifying.
Well, sure, you got through it anyway.
Oh, but no, I loved when we got it together. Eventually, it was a great piece of work. It went down very well. It got rave reviews all over the place as well. I mean, we travelled. As the same with the Christy Moore play, we had travelled in almost every county in Ireland. We'd done England, and I'd done a couple of wee bits in America, and wow, what, thinking back on it, you know, what an experience.
Young.
And Mulligan was a great piece. Basic Mulligan was about a guy growing up and who had an uncle who fought in the British Army, and his mate lived in Paris or somewhere like that there, or Berlin. He lived in Berlin, and he was German.
Right, okay.
And they became mates. And it was talking about the inhumanity of man in conflict and war, that they're all individuals, and tears are the same matter who cries them, and pain is the same no matter who feels it. But it was a great piece of work, an absolute brilliant piece of work. So it was.
Did you ever get any emotion like when you were doing these plays? Like, I mean, did you have to? You mean to get into the
big time?
Like,
big time. I mean, I wasn't taught this. It wasn't a theatrical direction, but you became the person you were playing.
Yeah, you had to get into the character.
Yeah,
like, yeah.
You literally get into their head, or they get into your head, and you became them.
So you were busy Mulligan for however how long till the thing was over?
And everybody who Mulligan knew, you know what I mean?
Right, okay. So we're now going to go and play Cruncher's next song choice. So, Terry, what song have you picked for your second tune, and what's the sort of reason for it?
This isn't a rebel song, but it's a song by Sandy Denny from Fairport Convention.
Okay.
Called "Who Knows Where the Time Goes," and doing things like this literally goes into my head. Who knows where the time goes?
Yeah.
Because
you start talking about these things again.
But a great piece of music.
Right, so this is
Sandy Denny.
Sandy Denny with
"Who Knows Where the Time Goes."
Who Knows Where the Time Goes.
Across the evening sky, all the birds are leaving, but how can they know it's time for them to go? Before the winter fire, I shall still be dreaming. I do not count the time. For who knows where the time goes? Who knows where the time goes? Sad deserted shore, your fickle friends are leaving. But then, you know, it's time for them to go. But I shall still be here. I have no thought of leaving out of time. Who knows where the time goes? Who knows where the time goes? And I am not alone. While my love is near me, and I know it shall be so, till it's time to go. So come the storms of winter, and then the birds in spring again. I do not fear the time. For who knows how my love grows, and who knows where the time goes.
So the last sort of double joint play we're going to talk about, Cruncher, is Black Taxis, starring yourself and the late Mark O'Shea.
Yeah.
Obviously this drama focused on the world famous now Falls Taxi Association and their black hackney cabs. Rolling near filled in the steps there. So how did you become involved in that one? And I'd imagine this one was a lot more acting orientated and less musical, was it?
Oh, there's a tiny piece of music in it.
Right.
Because anything that I done, anything that I done after that, after the two musical things were Pam insisted there was music in whatever we done after that. So we done Black Taxis, as you say, along with the late Mark O'Shea, a great young man, a
Definitely,
very, very, very extremely talented young man who sadly is no longer with us. We've done that. Brian Moore again. So we talked to the FTA about it, and the Falls Taxi Association,
Right.
and Jim Neeson was
My old boss Jim, yeah.
was
Yes.
the
The head
so
honcho
Jim
of the team.
was very, very helpful in helping us construct the whole
Right, okay.
the whole thing. And as usual, me and Pam, by the way, done a lot more fighting than we did. So we were always arguing and fighting and
So she
arguing
was
and fighting.
constantly shouting up the stage at you.
Yeah,
And
me shouting back. Yeah, and me shouting back. So, I only done the one season of it, and Jimmy Dornan came in and done the second tour of it. So, yeah, that was a great experience too. So it was.
Right, okay. So last year I actually was sitting in the lorry on my break and I seen a clip on YouTube of the hit West Belfast comedy series Pulling Moves.
Yeah.
So over the course of the week I ended up watching every episode, sort of every day there. And up pops Cruncher. I think I remember at the time, don't even remember you being in this when I first watched it, because obviously I watched it when I was out live. So So how did you end up being involved in a TV series playing yourself?
It was written by a local
Was
man.
it Pierce Elliott?
Yeah.
Pierce Elliott, London man here where we're from, yeah.
And been in the acting fraternity then. No, I mean you're among actors all the time, so you heard who was here, and my agent had got on to me as well, saying, "Listen, there's a TV thing being done here." So I had to go with that. That was a completely different format altogether from theatre, like.
Yeah, definitely.
And so again, learning experience. You trip up and you move on with it. I mean, but I enjoyed it. I'd done 3 or 4 films. After that, but yeah, it was good. It was a great experience. And again, working with the local actors, and some personalities there.
To have the 2 guys here, the 2 balloons who play up the, it's Kieran and Jared.
Yeah,
them 2. They were both in one of the 2 main characters in Pull Moose.
Yeah, they were pulling out.
Obviously, I originally thought that the bar scene was filmed in the old McDee's club. But when Bundoran this year, and you told me, the street, I'd said to you, no, that wasn't. That was filmed somewhere else.
Filmed down the power station.
Seriously, and it really looked like it was the.
Oh, they had
McDee's.
They had copied the McDee's.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Oh my.
It looked like
set designers. I mean, brilliant. I mean, what they done. You thought you were in the McDee's. 100%.
So I think that's where it was meant to be filmed in. That's where it was based on.
Yeah. That's
McDee's in Glen Road.
Yeah.
Tins of Heart, bottles of Old English.
Oh, that was. Pierce Elliott has went on to do some fantastic
definitely.
Stuff.
Man About Dogs, well, really talented guy. Like.
Brilliant. So one asset for the community. You know what I mean? And he tries to keep it local and keeps local people involved as much as he possibly can. You know what I mean? But fair play to him. You know what I mean? And there's loads of others like him out there. You know what I mean? Who will keep people in work and also allow the story of the working class
be
told
yep.
by the working class. You know what I mean? And that is some achievement in itself.
Definitely. So now we can't really do an interview yourself and not mention O'Neill Alsop Royal Flute Band. I was a proud member of the band, thankfully myself, for the last 5 years or so, in the latter days of my playing of Republican flute bands over the years. So yourself were a founding member. So last year the band celebrated their 40th anniversary with a gala night in the PD Club. So unfortunately I was actually DJing the wedding that night. I couldn't attend, which didn't go down too well with the band. But there's a video recorded on the night that has since went viral. It was obviously Gary Rogue was playing and he got you up to sing down to the Glenside, both female men. So tell us a wee bit about your time being in the early days of the O'Neill Alsop Flute Band.
The O'Neill Alsop Flute Band was started about 42 years ago, in fact. They were celebrating the 40th. But I remember, as if it was yesterday, what happened was the Fianna Earn.
All I can see now is the white socks. Mm. See when the old pictures of like basically the trousers, and it was.
Yep, that was the trend now. The right side. But what happened? Where the O'Neill Alsop Flute Band came from was that the Fianna Earn was disbanded.
Okay.
In the north, because there had been quite a few casualties,
accidental sort of deaths. So people, right.
And so, where was young Republicans to turn to? What were they supposed to do, and all the rest of it? And I remember talking to a guy who I thought was an older guy. He was probably about 5 years older than me. He seemed like a man to me. You know what I mean? Yeah. But he says, "Well, you have a lot of musical ability." He says, "Why don't you do something like that and give it the?" So I did, and with the help of the Billy Reid Republican Flute Band from Glasgow, a couple of their members who had been over seeing girls or whatever it was, or had relationships, flute players and a couple of drummers and stuff, and they helped us put it together, and we were selling poker cards to raise money.
Still do it now. It's football cards that usually do it. It's the same thing.
And our first march was the Bloody Sunday commemoration in Derry, and the band, back in them days, the band wasn't just about playing the drums and playing a flute, but it was about the songs and the history, history of what you were playing.
And I think I remember them early days, the pictures of a lot of them bands. They were massive, like.
Oh yeah.
They were, I mean, there was a lot. I mean, where nowadays a lot of the bands do struggle to try and get some members in, but I remember pictures then talking sometimes like maybe 60 odd, maybe 70 members or something.
Oh, yeah.
Bands like massive, like a bunch of kids in them.
It wouldn't. I mean, where I held a band practice, it used to be on the New Lodge Road. It was an old factory. Rolsons used to make furniture,
Right.
and it wouldn't have been unusual to have 80, 90 young people in there.
Seriously. I suppose them, they didn't have all like PlayStation and iPads and stuff, but then obviously it was a different era. I mean, there was different struggle going on then, whatever and stuff, and
also there was nothing for young people. I mean, nothing
in the New Lodge, like.
No, there was a couple of youth clubs, and if you got barred out of it, that was the end of you. You know what I mean? So, no, it became something that I hadn't thought out. To be honest with you, it became bigger than I thought it was going to be. You know what I mean? It became an institution. You know what I mean? It became a place for young people to express their republicanism.
Well,
it wasn't about playing a flute and banging a drum. It wasn't about that.
Yeah.
It was about learning your history. It was about. I mean, the very nature of the band. It was named after two young Fanes.
Two Fanes, yeah.
Who died. One was actually shot dead with his own weapon. It was a tragic accident, and the other young fella was killed, burning a shop down.
Right.
The petrol caught him and killed him. Two great, and I remember looking up them. They were a bit older than me. I mean, if they were here today, they'd be about 60.
So you knew the two, Jim O'Neill and all
Oh
that?
God, yeah.
Right.
I mean, they were guys I looked up to.
Okay.
They were people who I looked up to. They were always immaculate and polite, and two great young men.
And what age they been when they died? Like?
15, 16.
Serious, that young?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not. I wouldn't be quoted on that, but they were young.
Yeah.
They were youth, like they weren't men. You know what I mean? But by God, the consequences they faced was horrible.
Surely. Doesn't bear thinking about, like.
No.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously the band is sort of still going strong in the New Lodge with us, and say,
it's a different generation now.
I played in flute bands, I think it's 30 years of my life, and as you were saying there, I mean, that's what I got from it.
Yeah.
That's basically where I got my republicanism from, and basically I joined the band for different reasons. Some other people joined the band, but it wasn't all. Obviously, I'm very musical and I like to express my musical ability, but it's what the band is about. It's why I sort of joined you in the first place, you know, and what you're marching for.
And the minute you put that uniform on, it isn't a band uniform. It's a uniform of respect that you're respecting two young Fanes who lost their lives in to achieve what we're about to achieve.
Yep.
United Ireland.
Well, it's getting closer.
Oh,
by the looks of it.
It's going to slap me right up the face, and it'll happen that quickly. I don't know.
So you might say there a few years ago, I don't think I lived for it, but you might.
Oh, I'd be
hanging around for Norway.
I'd be very disappointed
if you don't say that.
Oh, I think I will. I think I will.
Okay, so we're sort of go back there, but your musical career. So, Big Zach, your current flute and whistle player, who you play regularly with now, he shared a few stories with me, right? So, I'd rather you told this one, right? Obviously, because you were involved, but I'll sort of start it off and you can sort of fill in. So, Zach had said, he says, yourself, Zach and Manuel were on the way back from playing the weekend in Glasgow, and you got lifted by the port cops and brought to Stranraer cop shop. Yeah. So he says there was only one out cop in the place and one cell. So he said he busy threw all three is in the cell with your instruments, your bags, whatever. Yeah. And so what happened next then in that cell? Like?
Well, 3 musicians coming back from Glasgow.
He mentioned the Eldorado. There's quite a few bottles of it. It's like Buckfast or something, is it?
it's like
With the ears.
it's like they call it wine, but it's petrol, I think. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so out came the El Dorado, and away they went. Scud missiles, we called them, when we got a wee shot of them. You know what I mean? And so the drink was taken, and the instruments came
Music
out.
was flowing.
Yeah.
So what did the guy, the cop there, like, he'd said something about he was trying to watch EastEnders or something.
Aye.
So could you be quiet for a half an hour? What's this?
Keep it down, boys, he says, watching EastEnders. Aye. So we started playing the theme of EastEnders.
Very good.
What Zach has left out is that they let him and young Manuel go
Right.
and held me for 7 days.
Seriously?
And and put I wasn't allowed to fly in over England in their airspace. I wasn't allowed to visit. An exclusion order, that's what they called it, an exclusion order, which lasted. I think it was the second last person to get theirs lifted.
Seriously?
Yep.
Fucking hell. But obviously, he'd said they were
Dangerous
they were waiting on
folks
the cops coming over in the boat or something. That's why they said, we'll get you in there for now till these
Yep.
pillars. But so they obviously come over and
Aye.
let them two go. But so did you have to stay in this cell or to bring you to jail? What
No,
7 days?
they've me in that cell.
Seriously?
7 days, yeah.
And then told you you're barred. Don't be coming back.
And then served an exclusion order on me, which just didn't happen to me. It happened to hundreds of people. I think, you know.
regular.
But yeah, that was some experience. That was one of the concerts I would like to forget.
Well, the sort of next part of that story, which I'm sort of finding hard to believe here, I couldn't understand what he told me. He says that week is yourself, Manuel and Zach, you shared a flat with Ken Livingstone and Des Wilson.
Yeah.
Right, in this flat in Scotland. So, first of all, like, what were the circumstances behind an Irish rebel band sharing a flat with Ken Livingstone and Des Wilson?
I think it was it had been the don't quote me on this, but I think it might have been the 10th anniversary of the hunger strike.
Right, okay.
And they were holding a thing in Scotland. Ken Livingstone, who was always has been a
Big
friend,
supporter of it,
a friend of Ireland, like, and Father Des, God bless him.
Yeah.
We were staying this place in Easterhouse, and well, Ken Livingstone wasn't. He was.
He wasn't in the flat usings?
No, he was staying in a hotel somewhere.
Right. Okay.
And a great song that Paul Brady wrote, called "Nothing But the Same Old Story."
Well, that's what I was going to ask you, because Zach told me, he says in this part of the story, he says one Sunday morning he went out to get for a dander. He says, I'm going to get stuff for a fry.
Yeah.
And he had said, do you want him? He says, no, I'm practicing this here song for the night. Whatever it was. So he says he came back from the shop and he stopped playing, and he said to Father Des, listen, like, what? That's a good old song. Concert's trying to learn or whatever. And says Father Des sort of put his glasses to his nose and set the book on the ground. He says, son, if I ever hear that song ever again, I'm going to murder somebody. So see, it must have been torturing out Des.
Oh God, I was learning it as it was on a videotape. Put it that way,
okay.
right? And right, just for listeners out there on a younger persuasion, a videotape is something that you recorded on. You know what I mean? And but you're able to keep it and play it back.
Yep.
So. So I kept rewinding it and learned the words of it, and a great song. If anybody hasn't heard it, please listen to it. It's a song about going to England, as a lot of us had to in them days, to find work.
Yeah, right.
And the minute they found out you were Irish, it looked as if you were a murderer. You know what I mean? You're some sort of a...
shit in their shoe and just like dirt.
Right. And
just the whole thing then was like no blacks, no dogs, no Irish was true. I mean, it's
still is.
Yeah,
still is.
But to a certain extent, I mean, that's really then it was being really sort of staunch, like
big time. And then after the IRA campaign in England, being Irish became as if you were some sort of piece of stuff that you walked in off the street. You know what I mean? That was all get left. But and that's the way people were treated. It's a powerful song. There's if any listeners want to check it out, it's on YouTube.
Well, actually, no, we're going to do the 4 songs anyway. So as you're going to do the one song at the end, we'll play this here now. And so this is then so it's Paul Brady and that Zach. Paul Simon, and nothing but the same old story. And this is especially for Father Days. So it is.
God
If he's
bless
up
him.
there listening.
Yeah. Of course he is.
Yeah.
Well, I was just about 19 when I landed on the shore with my eyes big as headlights. Like the thousands who came before, I was gonna be something. Smiled at the man screwing out of my face as I walked down over the gangway. I came down to their city where I worked for many's a year, built 100 houses. I must have pulled off 1,000,000 pints of beer, living under suspicion, yeah. Putting up with the hatred and fear in their eyes. You can see that you're nothing but a murderer. Yeah, in their eyes, we're nothing but a bunch of murderers. Yeah. Say, hey, Johnny, can't wait till Saturday night. Got a thirst that's raging, and no place where we can put that right. Wash away the confusion, hose down these flames inside. But look out, that's right. I said look out, 'cause I'll tell you when to beat it if you cross me. I'm sick of watching them break up every time some bird brain puts us down, making jokes on the radio. I guess it helps them all drown out the sound of the crumbling foundations. Any fool could see the writings on the wall, but they just don't believe that it's happening. No, no. Too bad. Well, there's a crowd says I'm alright. Say they like my turn of phrase. Take me around to the parties. I like some dressed up monkey in a cage, and I play my accordion. Oh, but when the wine seeps through the facade, it's nothing but the same old story. Oh, it's nothing but the same old story. Say, hey, Johnny, can't wait till Saturday night. Got a thirst that's raging, another place where we can put that right. Wash away the frustration, hose down this fire inside. But look out, yeah. I said look out, 'cause I'll tell you when to beat it if you cross me. Don't come too close. Not too close. I got a brother in Boston, says he'll send me on the fair. Just wrote me a letter, making out that he's cleaning up out there. 2 cars in the driveway, summer house way down on the Cape, and I know he fixed me up in the morning. Well, I've been thinking about it, but it seems so far to go. People say in the winter you get lost underneath the snow, and this is girl from my home place. Well, we've been planning to move back and give it a try, so I never got around to going. That's why I never got around to going. So hey, Johnny, can't wait till Saturday night. Got a thirst that's raging, no place where we can put that right. Wash away the confusion, hose down this fire inside. But look out, look out, look out. Don't come too close, not too close. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Back in the day, obviously you were known for having a few drinks at the gigs. I suppose back then it was sort of par for the course. But obviously you're now teetotaler, so you are, and you enjoy a wee bottle of Beck's Blue, non-alcoholic now and again. But obviously a few years ago, I'll hope you maybe share the story for us. You took a stroke, so you did, unfortunately. Do you have any sort of memories of this happening? Like,
I remember walking across the Alton Road. I was living in a flat on the Alton Road at the time, and which is another story why I was living by myself. But you need a 2-hour podcast to do this. But I'd been abusing alcohol. I mean, abusing it, simple as that. I was an alcoholic, in denial, and I had tried to stop drinking 10, 15 times. I'd been off it for 2 months, I'd been off it for 3 months, and then I'd been up to 6 months, and then, but always back to the booze. And I was walking across to my flat on the Alton Road, at the traffic lights at Habadonker Gardens there, walking across the road, and the next thing I remember is hitting the ground with a very heavy thud, old 17.5 stone on me.
Right.
Went down. And these two young fellas, big lumps of lads, like, looked at me and said, Jesus Cruncher, that's not like you from, and you don't stagger when you're drunk. I looked at them, I haven't had a drink in a day. And so they got me out, and they carried me in, opened the door and got me up into my flat. And I went, I'll lie down here and ring his son and get him to bring me to the hospital. And that's the last thing I remember. I fell asleep.
Right.
And thankfully woke up again, but that's when the damage had been done. So he literally carried me. Him and my ex-wife, Doreen, came down and carried me into the car, run me up to the...
So did you wake up then and know obviously something had happened?
Oh, yeah.
Like just the way you're feeling or something?
Oh,
or
no,
in pain?
Something like that there.
Oh, okay. Right.
And brought me to the hospital, and right away, what do you call the first nurse you go and see? I can't remember what the name is. When you go to the casualty, they send you the nurse, and she assesses you.
Oh, yes,
right?
yes, yeah.
And stroke. And I had been in hospital a week before, and they sent me home with a diazepam and 2 paracetamol. Says you'll be all right. I took a mini stroke a week before it.
Right, okay.
And they obviously didn't see the symptoms, and sent me home. So that was the end of the drink. I remember lying in the hospital, and the doctor came round. The kids had sat on. The my kids were up, and a couple of the grandchildren were there, and oh no, there's only one grandson there, and the doctor came in and he says, that your children? I says, aye. He says, there's a wee one. I says, it's talking to God, it's for grandson, you know. Says, well, if you want to see him growing up to be a young man, you should need to stay away from that booze.
Right.
And all the battles and the fighting, and the fighting with myself, and the argument with myself, trying to get off the booze, the minute he said that,
just clicked. Yeah.
That was it. I wanted to see my grandchildren growing up to be young men, and with the booze, that wasn't going to happen. So all my battles and struggle with alcohol, it's because and I'm not blaming the music industry or the music business, but here's the reality. See, if you're a singer and an entertainer, you're not buying drink. They're giving you, and insisting that you take another one. Insisting that you take another one, and there's people being kind. They're not
trying to force it down your throat.
No.
They just want to buy you, appreciate you.
And it's your option whether you lift it or drink it or not. And I took the option to lift it and drink it, and it killed me stone dead. Hence that my memory is destroyed. Right. I can't remember certain things, and some people have told me that's probably a good thing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I can't remember certain
Half of the
things.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah. So
Did you ever think then that, obviously, when you were recovering from this year, did you ever maybe think that you would never ever pick up a guitar again or ever sing again? Like,
well, my whole right side was a paralysis, went down the right side, and it's because I'd lay on. The say about stroke is that if you take a stroke, it's important that you get an intervention, medical intervention right away.
Okay.
Me falling asleep didn't help, so that's where the damage was done. Nerve ends dead and what have you.
So could that have killed you? But like, I mean,
Oh.
you might not woke up actually from it there, like.
Big time. But well, in the doctor, woman doctor in the casualty says, who took Mr. O'Neill's bloods? And this young nurse come up and says, I did. Says, take him again. And the doctor must have seen my face. She says, look, listen, I'll tell you tomorrow up on the ward. And I must have put a face on. She says, why, where do you think you're going home? She says, I'll see you tomorrow, and and remind me if you can. They tell you. So when she went with the guy, I was talking. I said, oh, just want to remind you about the bloods. She says, yes, your bloods. Says, yeah, the reason why I got your bloods retaken is because I thought there had been some sort of mistake. Says there was no vitamins, there was nothing. You get a read back from a blood test. Says there's nothing in it but ethyl. Says, you know what that is? And it's, alcohol. It says there. Says there's nothing in your system but booze.
Seriously?
But booze. And I looked at her and she says, yeah. And that's why you took a stroke. And the problem is that you fell asleep. If you'd have got right away, we could have stopped a lot of the damage that's been done. But you didn't get here. So again, I didn't think it was driving me crazy, knowing that I couldn't play my music again.
Yeah. So take it you're right-handed in for playing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
For the strumming, yeah.
Okay.
And so that was devastating in itself.
Sure.
But again, musicians, good friends, people who cared about me, came, and an old friend of mine, a blues guitar player called Tony Calarachi, great musician, a fabulous musician. He'd give me like hand exercisers
Right.
to build the muscle up
Right.
and try and build the strength up my arm, and encourage me to keep at it. It will strengthen your hand. So after about 2.5 years, started being able to lift the guitar again and play again. And the only thing that was left was the voice. That was all I had left.
Yeah.
Because the guitar playing is still struggling. I cannot. I was well known with my rhythms and stuff like that there, and
a lot of the stuff now you can't just do anymore. So
I can't do it. But again, other musicians come and back you up and help you out. I'm just thankful to be here. Never mind being able to play guitar.
So how's your health now then? Like, so
well, I haven't drank since I took the stroke.
right, okay.
Was
that a struggle for you? Like,
No.
Just it didn't come in the equation. It was just I'm not doing it again. Like,
No, when that doctor pointed out I wouldn't see the grandkids again if I kept drinking.
it was you
that,
knew
that was
it.
a name made up.
Right.
Simple as that there. So it was.
But obviously, if you're walking stick and stuff next, was in your house early on. There was like 7 or 8 walking sticks. And I'd said you have one for each day of the week. Like, you know? So obviously, you still more sort of struggle to walk. Do you? I mean, is it just?
Oh, big time.
Is this all down to the stroke end or sort of recovering from it yet?
I'll never get that strength back.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I try. I keep trying. I exercise as much as I can, but I can't do it for very long. You know what I mean? It's not there. So that's a consequence of enjoying yourself too much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she should say you're here to tell the story, but so,
Yep.
yeah, that's
Thankfully,
yeah. So obviously, along with Big Zach and Caroline, you sort of freeze would sort of get regular now. You do the annual Hills Donegal Celtic Sports Festival.
Yeah.
as my I'd done last 2 years of the podcast, and the previous couple of years with the flute band as well. So 2 years ago, I took up learning cajon, the box drum, and so Big Zach had asked me. He says, "Do you want to play with us?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, seriously?" Like, I mean, I've only started. He said, "No, I've heard you're grand. You'll get away with it." He says, "Everybody's going to be blocked down away, like so there." So I jumped at the chance obviously to play with you on stage or like. So you started playing a few tunes. Say I was just trying to join along sort of in time and stuff, whatever. And obviously it was sort of getting faster, and they're playing this wee jig. There's obviously no words in it. It's just a song with the fiddle and the whistle, and at the end of the song, you come off it, and obviously because Zach looked at me, he says, and he gets it over the microphone, he says, "You sure that's Back's Blue you're drinking? That Back's Green?" But it was, and you come off with something like I'm trying to remember if I can get this. That song there was called it's all about, it was either a Brit or an RUC man, and you'd said something like "Get back, you black bastard, or I'll shoot you in the foot." And I was like, "What?" And I asked Zach, I said, "Is that really?" He says, "No, he just comes off with this fucking stuff." He says, "There's no name for that song." He said,
he's mad.
He said, "It's just a wee jig."
It was a tune.
But he actually likes to tell a wee story behind it. And I was going, "Fuck right, okay." I'll go and look for that one on YouTube. And all like,
"No.
Get back, you black bastard, I'll shoot you in the foot." Like, fuck's sake.
It's only in Ireland you can say black bastard without sounding like being a racist.
Yeah, you know. Yeah. I know. So see, obviously, so how often now would you gig then? Like still, I mean,
No, I'm not able to.
Just sort of whenever you're asked, or sort of
asked to join in, and I do.
Yeah.
It gets me out, to be honest with you. That's all it does. It's not a career anymore. I mean, I love playing, and it's my sanity, and it keeps it well. So it does, you know. So there's no better therapy than playing a bit of music with your buddies. You know what I mean? And that's all it is.
Right, so time's sort of kicking on here, folks. I think we've been here an hour and a half, so sort of doing things so. So I just want to thank you again, Cruncher. I mean, honestly, I really appreciate you coming to do this for me. It's definitely one of the highlights of the podcast for me, having you on here. So
well, thank you very much.
So before we finish up the show, Cruncher's going to, actually we talked earlier on about the Bullfield Men song down the Glenside. So Cruncher's going to do this a cappella here for us before we finish up. But just want to mention something. So before we finish up the show with Cruncher's tune, I want to give out something. You're going to be sick of listening to me here about this, folks, over the next couple of months. So you've seen, obviously, on the Facebook page for the podcast that I've been looking to sort of run a gig for a while now, so I had, and obviously didn't really know what to do it for, so it was always going to be for a charity. So with the sort of plate of suicides in Belfast, and it's just an epidemic, so it is, particularly in West and North Belfast. So I sort of had the idea of maybe having like a rebel night. So I said I'll sort of reach out, and I've thankfully a lot of friends in the sort of rebel band scene, so I have, and I said to myself, I hadn't even got a venue or nothing booked yet, so I hadn't. And I said, so I basically sent a message to everybody I knew in bands and stuff, saying, listen, look, I want to do this gig, and I haven't got a venue yet, but if I sort of get a date, sort of would just do it. And I thought maybe one or two of them might go, oh yeah, I mean, I won't want to literally within an hour, every single one of them that I'd asked all said, yep, no problem, we'll do it, free of charge, we'll come along on the night. So basically the night that I've planned is called Rebs for Hope. And obviously the hope thing is about, there's obviously light at the end of the tunnel with the whole suicide thing. So it's, folks, I put the tickets out on sale last Monday night at 7 o'clock and they were all gone at 8:15. So 300 tickets completely sold out in an hour. So if you're looking at tickets, folks, there is none, and that is it. So I'll just give you all a wee run. Hopefully a lot of you is going to be there. So it's called Rebs for Hope, and it's going to be in the Anley Town Social Club, the PD, on Friday the 15th of May from 8 till 8. And obviously it's going to be in all the funding that's raised through ticket sales, ballots, auctions on the night and stuff, donations is going to go towards PIPS, the North Belfast Suicide Charity, and the West Belfast Suicide Awareness and Support Group. So all monies raised will equally go between both them sort of very worthy charities. we had the girls from the West Belfast Suicide Group on the podcast last year, and obviously I know firsthand the work that they do and the severely underfunded that they are. So every sort of penny that we can get counts. So I've secured an absolutely brilliant lineup, folks, for the night. So I have basically the bands that's going to be on is going to be the Irish Brigade, Damien Quinn, Eamon McLaughlin, local West Belfast singer Stephen, the Hot Whiskies, which is Cub McCulloch, Jerry Og and Jared Og, Macquarie, Liam MacDonald, Chris from Legacy, Jim Sherry, Liam Lappin, and also only Alsap flute bands going to a few tunes on the break for us, folks. So I'd have to mention as well a couple of sort of sponsors we have. Bumper, a colour master, who has donated all the tickets and posters to the event completely free of charge for us. So Bumper, once again, thank you so much. Mickey and the staff, the Town Social Club, the PD, are absolutely fantastic. Couldn't do enough for us. So it's going to be a great night. And also the Farset Hotel down the Springfield Road, who are donating a few rooms for the evening for all of basically some of the bands that are travelling to play. We're going to give them a night out, so they can stay over and have a few drinks, and they've donated a few rooms free of charge. So that's it, folks. Reps for Hope. So as I say, I'm going to be torturing you over the next couple of months out this year, trying to get more money in for these fantastic groups. So folks, that was episode 20 of the Rebel podcast with the legendary Terry Crunch O'Neill. It's been a pleasure, mate. So to end the show, folks, Cruncher's going to finish off with his version, a cappella style, of Down by the Glenside. Thank you. Cheers.
'Twas down by the glenside I met an old woman up looking young tattoos. She ne'er saw me coming. I listened a while to the song she was humming. Glory, oh, glory, oh, to the bold Fenian man. Some died by the glenside, some died by the stranger, and wise men have told us that their cause was a failure, but they loved dear old Ireland, and they never feared danger. Glory, oh, glory, oh, to the bold Fenian man. I went on my way. God be praised that I met her, be my life long or short. Sure, I'll never forget her. Ach, we may have brave men, but we'll never have better. Glory, oh, glory, oh, to the bold Fenian band. Glory, oh, glory, oh, to the bold Fenian man.
You have been listening to the Rebel podcast. To listen to this show again and to future shows, just search for our pages on SoundCloud, on YouTube and on Facebook. Just search for the Rebel podcast.